As a child, I had a desire, a patience, a skill for untangling knotted things no one else would bother with. Necklaces, bits of string, a jump rope, the dog's leash. With my wagon, I collected plant debris, catkins, and maple seeds. All these years later, I am still a gatherer of things. My camera has replaced the wagon. Walking is essential to my practice, a way to begin. It opens the route between the external world and the inner world of the studio. I have always worked in series, exploring theme and variation. I investigate contrasts and similarities between ideas and natural elements. I combine drawing, painting, and digital photography with techniques from printmaking and bookbinding. I love materials. I just love materials. I use many layers of Japanese paper to give a physical structure to the paintings. Working on both sides of a layer allows discarded or faint images to emerge. Glazing with acrylic paints and inks and sprinkling dry pigments from salt cellars, I create subtle surface echoes of color and shade. I use erasers as often as brushes or pens, taking away in one spot, adding back in another, until the painting has found its singular voice. The Tangle series began after an encounter with masses of twisted kelp washed ashore after a late November storm. The way the forms twined and entangled intrigued me. I took many photos and brought these back to the studio. There I began to decipher them, to find out what they were doing, to find the voice. Each painting that you see here is a reflection of that time.
I was born and raised in the American suburbs, a cul-de-sac, two-car garage, suite of time-saving machines and appliances, a room of my own. Santa and the Easter Bunny came and went, and my family gathered around the dinner table to eat our meals in between. My family is in the Middle West, massive mountains encroaching on the flatland where I spent my time. Early memories unbroken by worry and fear, a child running and laughing, spinning in the yard, sunlight on my fresh face, the sweet smell of dirt and decay. Under my fingernails, the red soil, dogs running at my feet, birds watching from the trees, bees, flowers, and clouds. A swing set, a mailbox, a power line, Saturday morning cartoons, a brand new microwave, and a neighbor mowing the lawn. Nightfall in the summer was an impressive host for thunderstorms, and our bodies waited in anticipation of the light and sound. I collected roly-poly bugs. I employed them to be my pets. I would house them in Tupperware, empty Cool Whip containers, if you know what I mean. If there were too many in there, resources ran out, and they would eat each other, much to my dismay. I can't help but love the land where I was born. Like a native plant, it's where I grow and the soil that I know. I study the people and history of this land I once trusted was just for me and my family, and have come to find that it's maybe an empty tub of Cool Whip.
Some of these new paintings were in progress when the pandemic began, but others came about within the last couple of months. I think they might be hinting at a path forward, starting from home and leading to home, but I never really know what my paintings are about until some time after the fact of their creation. The path toward home could be a reminder of this global shared experience, because home is place, is landscape, and paths, and sunlight and sea. I paint with acrylic enamel. It's a fluid, abundant medium that I've worked with for over 15 years. I love the way it covers, which allows and compels me to work in layers. I paint with speed, which has to be followed by patience until I can approach the next layer. I work with planned serendipity of wet paint interacting with other wet paint. I build up texture, which invites touch. The surface is durable, solid, and substantial. I begin my paintings from watercolor sketches that I've created out in the scene itself or from life itself. They are quick, loose impressions of place and moment. Back in the studio, I translate watercolor's transparent quality to acrylic enamel's opaqueness and the watercolor's small paper format to a larger panel size, from a moment's impression to further abstraction. I never tire of this exploration. The classes I teach at PtSA reflect how I approach my own art making. I convey a creative process driven by curiosity, including iteration, different ways of seeing, a sense of play, and respect for what other art and artists can show us.
Hi everyone, I'm Max Grover. The new work on display here at the Grover Gallery are the latest incarnations of a look that became my focus about 10 years ago. My fascination of graphics continues in this work and is exemplified in the ephemera from my ongoing and ever-expanding collection. My last show at the Grover Gallery in September 2019 featured paintings in a square format. This continues in this work, as its challenge is certainly holding an interest for me. The small scale of these paintings is how I like to explore a new look. These are the pick of the litter and have been created in the last 6 months. They are collage and acrylic paint on board. I hope you will enjoy these new expressions and take a few home with you. Thank you for your support of the Townsend School of the Arts and its artists.
In my landscape painting, the quality of light at dawn and dusk is what attracts me the most. I used to sketch and take copious notes to try and pin down the colors I was seeing in that fleeting light, then recreate them to the best of my ability back in the studio. The painting called Prevailing Winds is a good example of this. I spent a winter on Shaw Island in the San Juans in the early 90s. One dawn I was out after a storm had passed. The moon was waning and the wind was blowing 30 miles an hour out of the west on the straits. And the clear sky was the deepest, richest range of teal blues shading to peach at the horizon. I've probably done 10 paintings from this sketch over the years. Those colors still fascinate me. Now I use digital photos as my reference material, which are not perfect, but after decades of observing light and color, I can use them to advantage. I still have to get out there at dawn, though. One frosty New Year's morning in the high desert of New Mexico gave me the inspiration for Winter Dawn and northern New Mexico. Transition depicts the very last light reflected off a pond at the top of Sonoma Mountain near Sebastopol, California. And closer to home, Mount Rainier sits in pearly sunset, viewed from the east side of Bainbridge Island. Closer to home still, in North Beach where I live, the fog burns away to feature a warm pastoral late summer morning in Brambleberry Farm and peaceful morning. Thanks to the Townsend School of Art and Grover Gallery for the opportunity to show my work.